My child, your soulmate has been watching you. I do not say that to unsettle you. I say it as a sacred signal, a confirmation I am placing directly into your spirit at this exact moment, because maybe you have felt it for a while now. That strange sense that someone is thinking of you, that an unseen presence has been standing just behind the veil, watching the way you keep going, the way you survive in silence, the way you smile even when your heart is tired of explaining itself. Do not leave this too soon, because before it ends I am going to show you a hidden key, a final secret about why this person has not yet appeared, and how you will know them when they do. You did not find this by accident. I placed it in front of you because your spirit has been asking me for a sign, even when your mouth never spoke the words. In the quiet, you have been asking, God, is real love still meant for me? Is there someone who will truly see me, choose me, and not disappear the moment things become difficult? And today the answer is arriving. Not through thunder in the sky, not through a door suddenly flung open in front of you, but through a deep knowing in your soul that something is moving, that someone is drawing closer, and that a greater plan is unfolding behind what has felt like darkness. This person is not only watching your outer life, they are being drawn to the light I placed inside you, the very part of you that the wrong people could not understand, could not hold, and could not honor. If this is already touching something deep in you, type, I feel the shift in my spirit. I know the particular loneliness you have carried, because it is a loneliness most people never learn to name. It is not only the ache of sleeping alone, or of having no one to call at the end of a hard day. It is the deeper ache of being surrounded by people, and still feeling unseen, of being wanted by many and understood by none. You have learned to be strong in a way that quietly cost you, becoming the friend who holds everyone else together while carrying your own heart in silence. You have watched love seem to come so easily to others, watched them stumble into it, keep it carelessly, sometimes even complain about it, while you, who would honor it with everything in you, kept waiting. You have wondered, in your most honest moments, whether something was wrong with you, whether you were too much or not enough, or somehow built for a love that simply was not coming. Hear me, child, nothing is wrong with you. You were not passed over. You were set apart. And there is a difference between those two things wide enough to change your whole life. The reason love has not arrived carelessly is that I refuse to let it arrive carelessly, because what I am preparing for you is not careless love. It is covenant, and there is a reason this word is reaching you tonight, and not on some other night. I timed it. You have felt something stirring lately, a restlessness you could not explain, a sense that you were standing at the edge of a change you could not yet see. That was not random. That was your spirit sensing that the season was about to turn. I do not send a message like this into an empty moment. I send it right before a shift, the way the sky lightens before the sun has fully risen. So if these words are landing on you with an unusual weight, if something in your chest is responding before your mind has finished understanding, do not talk yourself out of it. That response is recognition. Your spirit knows the voice of the one who made it. And right now your spirit is confirming that this message belongs to you. You did not click on this by chance. You were led, gently and deliberately, to be sitting exactly where you are sitting, hearing exactly these words, at exactly the moment your heart was finally ready to receive them. But before this person steps out of the shadows, you must understand why your spirit has recently been rejecting almost everyone. That strange feeling you have been carrying is not confusion, and it is not loneliness playing tricks on your mind. It is your spirit sensing the nearness of something I have not fully revealed yet. You can feel that someone is close, but you cannot name them. You sense movement, but you cannot see a face. It is like standing before a door in the middle of a storm, knowing there is light on the other side, knowing someone is there. But I have not yet allowed the door to open. This is why your heart has been restless in the quiet moments. This is why certain songs, certain dreams, certain ordinary moments in your day have made you pause. Your spirit has been picking up on what your eyes have not yet been permitted to see. Understand this, because it is one of my ways. I prepare your inner world before I change your outer world. Before the breakthrough appears, I shift your discernment. Before the person arrives, I awaken your spirit. Before the promise becomes visible, I teach you to recognize what is not from me. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. That is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5. I have never been surprised by your pain, your waiting, your disappointments, or the people who mishandled your heart. I knew you before you knew yourself. And I also know exactly who is allowed to walk beside you in this next chapter. So when you feel that sacred tension, do not dismiss it. When your heart suddenly pulls back from someone who once would have interested you, do not force yourself to stay. Your spirit is not being difficult. Your spirit is being trained. I am teaching you the difference between attention and alignment, between chemistry and covenant, between someone who wants access to you and someone who has been prepared to honor you. If your spirit is being trained and not broken, type, my spirit is being trained, not broken. Look honestly at what has been happening around you. People come close, but something in you refuses to open the gate. A conversation begins, and yet your spirit will not settle. Someone looks right on the outside, says the right things, gives you a moment of excitement, and then one small detail exposes what your heart was already sensing. Their tone shifts. Their patience thins. A hidden motive leaks through a single sentence, and the attraction leaves like smoke pulled out of a room. That is not you being cold. That is not you being impossible to love. That is me interrupting what was never meant to enter your future. I am no longer allowing counterfeit affection to dress itself like destiny. I am removing the ones who only wanted access to your attention, your kindness, your forgiveness, your light, but never had the capacity to honor your soul. They could stand near you, but they could not carry the weight of where I am taking you. Before I take you deeper, I want to tell you how this message even reached you tonight, because it matters, and it will make sense to a heart like yours. You did not pay anything to receive it. It came to you freely. On a night you may have felt more alone than you let anyone see, and it came to you freely because someone who once sat exactly where you are sitting now, someone who once waited for love and wondered if heaven had forgotten them, chose to sow a seed so that the next lonely heart would find this waiting for them. Tonight, you are that heart. Someone you will never meet already made a way for these words to reach you in your waiting. So tonight, you owe nothing. Tonight, you simply receive. And if there ever comes a season when your own heart is full and I lead you, you may choose to become that for the next one still waiting in the dark, sowing a seed of any amount so that another weary heart hears on their loneliest night that their love was never forgotten. The link is there for whenever you are ready. But there is no condition on what I am speaking over you tonight. Hear this and let it settle something in you. You may look single to the world, but in the spirit you are not unmarked, not unguarded, not available to random hands and temporary desires. There is a seal over your life. There is a holy boundary around your heart. There is armor covering the very places where the wrong people used to enter so easily. This is why people can approach you, admire you, even desire you, and still something stops them from reaching the deepest part of you. They can stand at the gate, but they cannot enter. They can see the light, but they cannot touch what I have placed under divine protection. And this is not only about romance. This is about your destiny being guarded from people who would drain your fire, delay your healing, and pull you back into a wilderness I already carried you out of. You are precious in my eyes, and honored, and I love you. That is Isaiah chapter 43, verse 4. Your heart is not cheap. Your spirit is not common. Your presence is not something anyone gets to mishandle and still call it love. The shield around you was never rejection. It was protection. You were not blocked from love. You were blocked from destruction disguised as love. If that reaches something deep in you, type, I am protected, not rejected. Think of how many times you sensed something before you could prove it. The person who seemed perfect until a single moment revealed who they really were. The connection that felt exciting until your peace mysteriously drained away in their presence. The one you almost gave your heart to until an instinct you could not explain made you hold back. And later you understood exactly why. You called yourself guarded. You wondered if you had become too closed, too cautious, too hard to reach. But you were never closed. You were covered. That hesitation you felt was not fear ruling you. It was discernment protecting you. I placed a check in your spirit that the old you would have ignored, and every time you honored it, you were spared a wound you will never even know you avoided. The wrong ones felt that covering too, though they could not name it. They felt a wall they could not climb, a depth they could not reach, a gate that would not open no matter how hard they pushed. And so one by one they left, and you grieved them as losses. But they were not losses, they were evacuations. Heaven was clearing the ground before the foundation of something real could be laid. Now listen closely, because here the message becomes personal. The person coming toward you has not been looking at you the way ordinary people look. This is not shallow curiosity, not someone who passes through your life, notices a moment, and forgets you minutes later. This person has been paying attention with a depth they may not have even admitted out loud yet. They have noticed the way you carry yourself when life has been heavy. They have noticed the quiet strength in you, the softness you try to protect, the fire you keep hidden because the wrong people once made you feel unsafe for shining too brightly. They have seen the things about you that you assume no one notices, the small kindnesses you offer without being asked, the way you carry yourself with a dignity that pain never managed to steal, the depth in your eyes that hints at everything you have survived. What the careless people passed over as ordinary, this person has been quietly treasuring as rare, and that is how you will know the difference when they arrive. The wrong ones were always trying to change you, to shrink you, to make you smaller and more convenient. This person is drawn to exactly who you already are. They will not want a diminished version of you. They will want the whole of you, the strength and the softness, the laughter and the depth, the parts you show and the parts you have guarded. Because I did not prepare for you someone who will tolerate your light. I prepared someone who will finally, at long last, be able to celebrate it. And they have not rushed toward you, not because they are playing games, but because something in them recognizes that you are not someone to be approached carelessly. They sense there is weight on your life. They sense there is a calling around you. And if they come in wrong, they know, somewhere they cannot fully explain, that they could lose access to something heaven itself has been protecting. And the reason they have not appeared yet is not what you think. It is not that they do not feel the pull. It is that they feel the weight of it. They understand they cannot step into your life with divided intentions, carrying the same old wounds, the same old fear, and expect to stand beside someone I have been rebuilding in the fire. So there has been silence. There has been distance. There have been moments where it looked as if nothing was moving, when in reality I was working behind the veil, dealing with the hidden places in them, confronting their hesitation, their pride, their old heartbreak, their instinct to run when something becomes too real. They may have almost reached out. They may have stood at the edge of that door more than once, hand near the handle, heart beating fast. And I did not open it yet, because divine timing never bows to human panic. They are walking through a wilderness you cannot see. Their intentions are being purified, their courage is being formed. They are being taught that love is not control, not possession, not desire without responsibility. Love is honor. Love is patience. Love is the willingness to show up fully when hiding would be easier. Because the one coming to you cannot merely want you. They must be able to carry the responsibility of loving what I have protected. If you can sense that they are near and I am preparing them, type, they are near and God is preparing them. I want you to understand what I have been doing in them, so you do not misread the silence as absence. This person has a history too, wounds too, seasons where love failed them the way it failed you, and I have not been idle in their life any more than I have been idle in yours. I have been healing the parts of them that would have hurt you. I have been dismantling the patterns that made them run in the past. The fear of being fully known, the habit of pulling away when a thing becomes real. The old scripts that told them love always ends in loss. I have been teaching them to stay. I have been growing in them the very capacity your heart has been waiting for. The consistency, the courage, the tenderness that does not flinch when it meets the depth of you. So while it has looked like nothing was moving, everything has been moving in the unseen. The delay you have felt was also their preparation. If they had come to you a year ago, 2 years ago, they would have come as the version of themselves who could not yet hold what you carry, and you would have been hurt again by someone who simply was not ready. I love you too much to send you love that is not ready, so I have been finishing the work in them, the same way I have been finishing it in you, so that when the two of you finally meet, you meet as two people who have been made whole enough to build something that lasts, instead of two wounds trying to bandage each other. Remember Joseph, whom his own brothers betrayed and sold, who sat in delay and prison for years that looked like nothing but loss. What looked like betrayal was positioning. You intended to harm me, he later said, but God intended it for good. That is Genesis. Chapter 50, verse 20. In the same way, what has looked delayed in your life may be preparation. What has looked hidden may be protection. What has looked silent may be me building something strong enough to last. So do not mistake delay for denial. Do not call silence abandonment, when I may be using that very silence to mature the one who is coming to you. And while I shape them in secret, I am doing something just as deep in you. You are not only waiting for someone to appear, you are being made whole. I am pulling you out of the version of yourself that once accepted confusion because it felt familiar, that once called inconsistency love because it was afraid of being alone, that once gave people more chances than they ever earned because your heart was still trying to prove it deserved to be chosen. I am breaking that pattern quietly, firmly, completely. This season has not been empty, it has been a holy rebuilding. The tears you cried when no one checked on you were not wasted. The nights you questioned why certain people could not love you correctly were not meaningless. The times you walked away while your heart still wanted to stay were not weakness. They were evidence that something new was rising in you. I have been teaching you that love should never require you to abandon yourself, that love should not make you shrink, that love should not feel like standing barefoot in a storm, begging someone to become your shelter. If you can feel that I am making you whole, type, God is making me whole. And this wholeness I am building in you is the greatest gift I could give you before love arrives. Because a person who is still bleeding will bond to whoever stops the bleeding, even if that person is wrong for them. That is how so many end up tied to the very ones who wound them. But I am not letting you enter your next chapter still bleeding. I am closing the old wounds first. I am teaching you that your worth was never up for negotiation, that you do not have to earn love by being useful, agreeable, or endlessly patient with disrespect. I am giving you back the ability to walk away from what is beneath you without guilt, and to stay for what is good without fear. You are learning to feel safe in your own company, so that you never again cling to a poor love, simply because being alone frightened you more than being mistreated. And this changes everything about the love that is coming, because a whole person and a wounded person attract completely different things. The wounded version of you attracted people who fed on your emptiness. The whole version of you will attract someone drawn to your fullness. You will no longer be looking for someone to complete you, and that is exactly why you will finally be ready for someone to complement you. I am not sending you a rescuer. I am sending you a partner, and only a whole heart can recognize the difference. You are learning to recognize peace now, not just excitement, not just the fire that burns fast and leaves ashes behind. Peace, clarity, honor, safety. The kind of presence that does not put your nervous system into alarm. The kind of connection that does not make you perform, chase, decode, or beg. Because the version of you that survived the wrong people could not have fully received the right one. That version was still guarding old wounds, still bracing for abandonment, still confusing intensity with destiny. But the one I am raising now will know the difference. So do not look at this season as delay. Look at it as restoration. I am preparing you for a love your old self would have questioned, sabotaged, or feared. I am strengthening you so you do not run back to the wilderness the moment the door finally opens. I am healing you so that when the right person arrives, you do not hand them the punishment for what the wrong ones did. Let me pause and speak simply to you now, as the ministry that carries these words. This message found you tonight only because someone before you gave so it could. That is how it works here. A chain of grace. One waiting heart met and comforted, and out of gratitude they sow. So the message reaches the next waiting heart. Somewhere tonight there is another chosen one lying awake, wondering if love passed them by, aching for exactly the sign you just received. If the Lord ever leads you, you can become the reason it reaches them. Sowing a seed of any amount, so the next lonely heart hears that heaven never forgot their love story. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. never as a price for your blessing, only as a way of passing forward what was freely given to you. Now hear the part heaven did not want you to miss, because this connection is not only about love, it is about assignment. It is about destiny. The person coming toward you is not being sent merely to make you feel wanted. They are being aligned with the calling that has rested over your life since before you understood why you never fit into ordinary places. And this is the part that will reframe everything. Some people were removed from your life not simply because they were wrong for your heart, but because they were dangerous to your purpose. They would have loved the version of you they could control, but resisted the version I am raising. They would have enjoyed your softness, but feared your fire. They would have wanted your presence, but never carried the responsibility of the weight you carry. I saw the hidden cost. I saw what would happen if the wrong person stood beside you while you were stepping into something holy. That is why this has been guarded so intensely. I am not only preparing a romantic chapter, I am preparing alignment. The right person will not pull you away from your calling. They will not shrink you so they can feel powerful. They will not compete with the light I placed in you. They will recognize it, honor it, and help you protect it. Their presence will not feel like a storm dragging you backward. It will feel like a door opening at the exact moment your spirit is finally ready to walk through it. And understand why I have guarded this so fiercely. When two people are joined the way I am about to join you, they do not only build a home, they build an altar. What I release through a union I have prepared is greater than what either of you could ever carry alone. Together you will do things neither of you could do apart, reach people neither of you could reach separately, become a covering for others the way heaven has been a covering for you. That is why the enemy fought so hard against your love, sending counterfeit after counterfeit, delay after delay, trying to get you to settle before the real thing could arrive. He was never only trying to keep you lonely, he was trying to prevent an alignment, because he understood what your union would release into the earth even before you did. But every counterfeit he sent, I turned away at the gate. Every premature door he tried to open, I closed. He could not stop what I have written, and now the season of his interference is ending. What I am joining, no scheme of his can keep apart, because I did not design your love to merely comfort you. I designed it to advance something in my kingdom that requires the two of you together, whole and aligned. I know how easily a word like this can fade by morning, so if this is reaching the deep places in you, do not let this be the last time I speak to you here. Subscribe and turn on the reminder, not for a number, but so that the next confirmation about your season, the next piece of this unfolding, finds its way to you. I am preparing you for a new chapter, and I do not want you to miss a single word of it. And before you can receive that kind of alignment, 3 things in your mind must change. The first is this: stop calling protection rejection. Not everyone who left was a loss. Not every closed door was punishment. Not every silence meant you were forgotten. Some people disappeared because I removed them before they could damage what I was building in you. Some conversations ended because your spirit had already heard the warning before your mind had the courage to accept it. Stop grieving the doors that my mercy shut. If you are ready to lay that down, type, I stop calling protection rejection. The second is this: stop chasing what I am filtering. If your peace keeps leaving every time you entertain a certain person, pay attention. If your spirit tightens when their name appears, pay attention. If you have to silence your own discernment just to keep a connection alive, that is not love. That is self-betrayal wearing a romantic mask. The wrong person will always require you to ignore the alarm. The right person will bring a peace that does not have to be forced. And the third is the deepest. Start seeing yourself as chosen, not abandoned. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not difficult to love. You are being positioned. I do not rush what carries destiny. The waiting has been forming you. The rejection has been redirecting you. The loneliness has been sharpening your hearing. This is not delay. This is restoration moving quietly behind the curtain. And do not despise the wilderness you walked to get here, because the wilderness is where I do my deepest work. It was in the lonely seasons that you learned to hear my voice, because there was no other noise loud enough to drown it out. It was in the disappointments that I taught you what your soul can no longer survive, so that you would never again mistake a cage for a home. It was in the nights you cried alone that I drew closest, closer than you knew, holding you together when you were certain you were falling apart. Nothing about that wilderness was wasted. Every tear was collecting into wisdom. Every heartbreak was teaching your spirit to recognize the difference between the counterfeit and the real, a discernment you could never have learned in comfort. The people who walk into love easily and young often carry that love carelessly because it cost them nothing. But you will not be careless with what is coming, because you know exactly what it cost to wait for it. The very thing you resented, the long road, is the thing that has made you ready to receive and to honor a love that others would take for granted. So when you finally hold it, you will hold it with the reverence of someone who knows what a gift it truly is. And if you truly believe that, then what you do each day must begin to match what I am preparing spiritually. You cannot ask me for a sacred connection while still opening ordinary doors out of loneliness. You cannot pray for someone who honors your soul and then keep entertaining people who disturb your peace. So move differently now. Pause before you answer the message. Pray before you give another chance. Ask me, Lord, if this is not from you, remove it completely. And if it is from you, give me a peace that does not have to be forced. Watch the fruit, not the performance, because words can sound holy while intentions stay hidden, and promises can feel warm while actions stay cold. The one I send will not only speak beautifully, they will carry consistency. They will bring clarity. They will respect your boundaries without making you feel guilty for having them. They will not make you decode their silence like a puzzle, or turn your heart into a battlefield and call it passion. So pay attention to what follows a person. Peace is a sign, confusion is a warning, pressure is a warning, repeated disrespect is a warning, and write down the sacred signals. The dream that stayed with you, the sudden heaviness when someone returned, the strange calm after you walked away, the moment your spirit whispered, "Not this one," before your mind had any proof. I often speak through patterns before I speak through evidence. And when you begin to record them, you will see that heaven has not been silent. You were being trained to listen, so let your daily life begin to agree with what you are praying for. When loneliness whispers late at night that you should reach back out to the one I already removed, do not obey the loneliness. Loneliness is a poor counselor. It will always make the familiar cage look safer than the unknown freedom, and it will always forget why you left in the first place. When someone I filtered out tries to return, and they often do the moment they sense you moving on, do not confuse their return with my will. The wrong person always comes back when they feel you slipping away. Not because they are ready to love you rightly, but because they cannot bear to lose their access to you. Recognize it. Do not reopen a door I sealed shut for your protection, and guard the atmosphere you keep, because what you surround yourself with shapes what you will accept. If you keep feeding your heart images and stories of chaotic love, of drama mistaken for passion, of instability dressed up as romance, you will train yourself to feel bored by the very peace I am sending. So begin now to hunger for peace instead of intensity. Let your standard rise to match your calling. You are not being difficult by refusing less than covenant. You are finally agreeing with heaven about your own worth. There is a time for everything, and I make all things beautiful in their time. That is drawn from Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 11. Your love has an appointed time, and it will not be 1 second late. And most importantly, do not reopen the doors I closed just because the night has gone quiet. Loneliness can make the past look safer than it ever really was. But you were not rescued from the storm to run back into the flood. Do not awaken love before it is ready, and do not stir it before its time. That longing is drawn from the Song of Songs, where wisdom says not to awaken love until it so desires. Hold your position, guard your peace, because here is the hidden key heaven wanted you to receive tonight. When the right person appears, you will not have to betray your spirit to recognize them. You will not have to silence your discernment, explain away confusion, excuse distance, or convince yourself that anxiety is love. The one I have prepared will not feel like a storm you must survive. They will feel like peace arriving after years of spiritual warfare. They will not make you question where you stand. They will not treat your heart like a place to visit when they are lonely and abandon when responsibility arrives. Their presence will carry a sacred calm, a holy certainty, a light your soul recognizes before your mind has time to build a defense. Let me show you what this love will actually feel like, so you do not mistake the counterfeit for the real when both stand in front of you. It will feel like exhaling after holding your breath for years. It will feel like being fully known and, for the first time, not having to hide any of it. There will be a strange, unfamiliar quiet where the anxiety used to live. And at first that quiet may even confuse you, because you have grown so used to love that came with a knot in your stomach, that peace might feel too calm to be real. Do not distrust the peace. The peace is the point. You will not have to wonder where you stand with this person, because they will tell you and then show you. And the words and the actions will match. You will not have to shrink your joy, dim your light, or apologize for your depth, because they will be drawn to the very things others were threatened by. You will feel free to be soft because you will finally be safe. You will feel free to be strong because they will not be intimidated by it. And on an ordinary day in the middle of something completely unremarkable, you will look at them and be struck by the quiet astonishment that this is what it was always supposed to feel like, that everything you settled for before was only a shadow of this, and that the waiting, as long and as painful as it was, brought you to something worth every single tear. And this is the truth I want you to carry out of this hour. The delay was never proof that love had forgotten you. The delay was proof that I was guarding the door. Every person who left, every connection that collapsed every night, you wondered why nothing was working, none of it was wasted. It was protection. It was me clearing the throne of your heart before the wrong person could sit in a seat reserved for covenant. You were not being punished. You were being preserved. If you receive that, type, I was preserved, not punished. Before I turn the page over your love story, let me speak to you one last time as the ministry that carries these words. And hear this from the same tenderness that has been speaking to you all along. You know now what it is to wait for love in the quiet, to wonder if you were forgotten, to need a single word of hope on a night when the loneliness felt heavier than usual. Right now, as you read this, there is someone else in exactly that place. Another chosen one lying awake tonight, aching for the very reassurance you just received, not yet knowing it exists. This message can reach them. If the Lord ever leads you and your heart is able, you can become the reason it does, sowing a seed of any amount so that these words of hope and covenant keep finding the lonely hearts who need them most. You would be doing for the next waiting soul exactly what someone once did for you tonight. Every seed sown in love is seen and remembered by the one who never forgets a love story. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. For whenever your heart is ready, and never as a condition of the love I have promised you. When this person finally steps forward, the old names will lose their power. The memories that used to pull you backward will feel distant. The people who once made you question your worth will no longer hold a throne in your thoughts. Not because you forced yourself to forget, but because something real will finally show you why everything counterfeit had to fail. So receive this with faith. Chosen one. Your story is not ending in disappointment. Your heart is not too damaged for divine love. Your waiting has not been ignored. I am turning the page. And when the appointed time arrives, you will know that this word was for you. Subscribe to stay close to what I am releasing for the chosen ones. And share this with someone who needs to remember that I still write love stories no darkness can destroy. So let me leave you with a blessing tonight, chosen one, before you rest. I bless your heart, that it would heal completely, so that when love arrives it finds a whole home to live in. I bless your discernment, that it would stay sharp, so you never again silence the alarm your spirit sounds. I bless your peace, that you would guard it fiercely and refuse every connection that cannot honor it. I bless your waiting, that it would end not in exhaustion but in fulfillment, at exactly the appointed time and not one moment before or after. And I bless the one I am preparing for you, wherever they are tonight, that I would finish my work in them, steady their courage, and lead them to your door when you are both finally ready. Rest now, and stop scanning the horizon in fear. What I have written cannot be lost. cannot be stolen, and cannot be given to anyone else, because it carries your name. If you believe that the love I have prepared is truly on its way to you, type, I am ready to receive the divine love God prepared for me. And as your final declaration tonight, if your whole heart is ready, type, I receive the love God has written for me. This is not the end of your love story. This is the moment I begin to turn the page.